A man who admits he killed a nurse at Detroit Receiving Hospital cuts a deal to avoid a charge of first-degree murder. Ford Motor Company giving a late-breaking update on talks with the UAW, saying it's essentially maxed out what it can offer the striking union. Megan.
You're going to be seeing thousands more of these trees in the city of Detroit. We tell you why and the difference the city is hoping it makes.
Well, it's turned into a pretty decent day out there. A little sunshine breaking through the clouds, and temperatures are right now in the 60s. Different story tomorrow night and into the weekend. We'll talk about it in just a minute. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
We begin first at 4 with the new developments at Ford in its talks with the UAW. The strike now in its 28th day, as we expect Union President Shawn Fain to announce new strike targets when he speaks tomorrow. Business editor Rob Maloney live for us this afternoon with what Ford had to say in a conference call that just wrapped up. Rod.
Yeah, it was a situation where Ford elaborated on the problems in this contract. They're saying that the union is still stuck on pensions and also the battery plants. Those are the two big sticking points. And so the company is saying, look, and this is how this works overall anyway. The company will delegate a certain number, a budgeted number for what they can spend on this national contract. And what the company is saying is that they have done that. They have reached the limit, the most that they can put in, and that the company, that the union is looking for still more, and they're very baffled by the union's stance on this. One of the things that they went ahead and said, and we'll take a look at the Louisville, Kentucky truck plant. It is the biggest truck assembly plant in the world. 9,000 employees. They're saying that the ripple effects of this is going to be massive, and it's not going to take very long for that to come into place. We're already saying that 30% of their suppliers have been hit with that ripple effect. But what Shawn Fain is saying is that what they did last night was come in and give the same offer that was handed to them 2 weeks ago. Wasn't sufficient, didn't have enough in it, and so Shawn Fain pulled the trigger on what is going to be a very expensive decision, because the truck plant turns out a truck every 37 seconds. They make about $25 billion, or at least in revenue, a year. So let's hear from Ford Motor Company also what they're saying out here in the line about what happened last night.
We have reached our limit. We've actually stretched ourselves to get to this point. That wasn't done in a vacuum. That was done in multiple discussions with the union leadership, both the union international leadership as well as the Ford department leadership. And we're still working on to get this done.
The company can be frustrated, but for the last 8 years, they got a lot away with a lot. They had a great deal right before pre-pandemic, when everybody else's pay went up and ours stayed the same. So they got a nice chunk. They got over on us once. Good for them. Now it's our turn.
Now, Shawn Fain was scheduled to meet this morning at Stellantis. We do not know how that went. The union is telling us the talks are still continuing and they're still making some progress. But what we do know is that Shawn Fain has scheduled one of his now famous Facebook Live broadcasts for tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with an eye toward going ahead and escalating the strike even at Stellantis and General Motors. We're certainly going to be watching for that. But coming up on Local 4 News at 5, we're going to be taking a closer look at what Ford said today, what Shawn Fain is saying, and the reaction to it all. Reporting live in Wayne, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, we'll check back at 5. Thank you, Rod. Time now for our first look at your first forecast. Let's send it over to Kim.
Well, it's turned into a pretty decent day. We've got temperatures right now in the 60s. We're still just a touch below normal for this time of year, but better than what we've been all week long. 62 in Mount Clemens, 62 also in Pontiac, 60 in Howell, and also at Metro Airport. It's a little warmer than it was yesterday south of I-94, but really warm north of it. Pontiac 9 degrees warmer right now than you were yesterday, 5 degrees warmer, 6 degrees warmer in Mount Clemens. Tomorrow we will make it into the upper 50s, but we'll have a lot more clouds. And it looks like tomorrow night, sometime after 7, 8 o'clock, we'll see rain arrive, and that rain is going to continue through the weekend, especially on Saturday, windy and rainy, but there is some hope for Sunday. Even though temperatures will be in the 50s, there's still that chance of a scattered shower, so we'll talk more about timing for the Freak Marathon and all that rain coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. We did learn of a plea deal in the shooting death of a local nurse outside of Detroit Receiving Hospital. Jameer Miller of Inkster had been facing a first-degree murder charge in the May 13th killing of Patrice Wilson of Redford. The two had previously been in a relationship. Investigators say Miller used a disguise to get into Wilson's car and shoot her. He then drove the car to an apartment in Novi, where Wilson's body was discovered a day later. The Wayne County prosecutor revealing today Jameer Miller has pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. In exchange, that first-degree murder charge will be dropped, along with charges of felony murder, carjacking, and armed robbery, among others. He will be sentenced on November 1st. The death toll rising in Israel in the wake of terror attacks by Hamas and Israel's counteroffensive via airstrikes. Devin Skillion joins us now with the very latest on today's developments.
Well, Karen, so far there's been no ground maneuver by Israeli forces. Still watching for signs of that development, but the airstrikes on Gaza continue. Electricity, water, and fuel are being kept out of Gaza until Hamas returns an estimated 150 people taken hostage from Israel. An estimated 2,700 lives have now been lost if you tally up the casualties on both sides. The U.S. government working to arrange charter flights for United States citizens seeking to leave Israel starting Friday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv, reaffirming America's position of solidarity with Israel.
This must be a moment for moral clarity. The failure to unambiguously condemn terrorism puts at risk not only people in Israel, but people everywhere.
Mr. Secretary, your visit is another tangible example of America's unequivocal support for Israel. Hamas has shown itself to be an enemy of civilization.
Now back here in Metro Detroit, Senator Gary Peters visited the Woodward Avenue Shul in Royal Oak today to discuss the heightened need for safeguarding places of worship and the resources to be able to do just that.
But after the attacks that we've seen not only at synagogues but at African American churches and mosques, it's important for us to make sure that we're protecting these institutions. And yet many of them, like the shul here, are not large institutions. They're small, have limited resources. And yet, unfortunately, as tragic and as sad as it is, places like this are now a target in this country. And we need to harden the target to make sure that people who come here can feel safe and secure as they worship.
In fact, Senator Peters is encouraging houses of worship to take advantage of $7.5 million in federal security grants available to nonprofits and faith-based organizations across Michigan, and that is earmarked specifically for helping them secure their facilities from threats of violence, which feel very real right now.
Sad state of affairs, but that security is important. All right. Thanks, Devin. We'll check back with you at 5.
You bet.
All right, Social Security recipients will be seeing a smaller cost of living adjustment next year, and that's compared to the past 2 years. The 2024 increase will be 3.2% less than half of this year's record-setting increase of 8.7% and well below 2022's number of 5.9. Now, the 2024 increase will amount to about $50 more a month. City of Detroit is now a year into their massive tree planting initiative. The goal is to plant 75,000 trees, and in 2022, they planted 8,000. Megan Woods joins us live this afternoon with what is in store for year 2. And Megan, this is more than just about planting trees.
Well, Karen, there's also the workforce development side of this, because when you're planting trees like this, you also need to maintain them. And when we're talking about how massive this initiative is, they recently were awarded $3 million to continue funding this project. And this fall, they plan to put 5,500 more trees in the ground. Planting trees doesn't sound like a big deal, but for these Detroiters, it is.
I'm really excited about the impact that this program is going to have on our neighborhoods, particularly for our resident health as well as infrastructure, especially when it comes to like the way that we've been dealing with flooding lately. The erosion of the ground is due to the lack of root infrastructure, and the older and the more trees we put in, the older their roots, the stronger our foundations are.
We know that they help human health. They help to filter out particulate matter like PM 2.5, and and they help to just make the air cleaner and safer.
Detroit's reforestation manager says the Detroit Tree Equity Partnership isn't limited to one area.
Those trees are being planted along our commercial corridors, like here along West 6 Mile. We're also doing neighborhood plantings, and then the city still has our residential tree planting requests. So if you want to request one tree for in front of your home, we'll fulfill that need as well.
They're using data like asthma rates to guide them. And now that the first year is out the way, they're hoping to ramp up planting. That's where lead partner, the Greening of Detroit, comes in.
We've got maybe about 8 to 10 different species that we plant on this project.
And they aren't just doing the digging.
We work with community residents where we're knocking on doors, we're at community groups, we're engaging and making sure that residents understand the importance of trees and want trees. We want them to have a part in what's going on.
But that's just one part of this initiative. Another major aspect is planting opportunity.
Now, through this initiative, the beauty of the Detroit Tree Equity Partnership, we're looking at training 300 adults throughout Detroit and placing those folks into jobs. And so that's one good thing about putting 75,000 trees in the ground. We have an opportunity to create jobs.
The overall idea is to make Detroit a better place to live.
So the more trees that we can get into the ground, the more sustainable we can make Detroit.
And so you'll see them planting this fall in areas like West McNichols, Joy Road, and East Warren Avenue, as well as those neighborhoods you heard her mention earlier. If you want a tree planted in front of your yard, visit clickondetroit.com. We'll put the link there, as well as the job opportunities connected to this. Reporting live, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Love this story. All right. We appreciate all the info. Thanks, Megan.